I'm Tammy Peterson, I'm the treasurer for the Hands Off People of Iran, and we're privileged here to have John McDonnell MP for Hayes and Harlington, who's a supporter of the Hands Off People of Iran, has been involved in solidarity with people in Iran for a number of years. Basically he's just going to speak briefly about ways we go forward in the movement, and then he's asked me to open that up for discussion because he wants to questions, answers, and that sort of thing. So
thanks, Tammy. Thank you. I don't think you're particularly well. By the time I finish speaking, I don't think you'll think I'm particularly privileged to be here, or whatever, because the purpose of me coming along actually was to involve in a discussion where I could learn rather than just talk. Can I just, from the beginning, just say, in our movement we don't thank each other enough, and I just want to thank people who originally came together to set up this campaign, because it was desperately needed. And I just want to thank them for not just the hard work that's been put in a very challenging situation, a very challenging issue, but also the level of, I can't think of any other word, the level of sophistication about it, the level of just thinking through the delicacy of the issue that we're dealing with, because it's so easy to launch a campaign and then be incorporated into other actions that justify other developments. And I think what's been incredibly good about this campaign is the careful positioning of the campaign itself. I know that there's been other organisations that may not have appreciated the carefulness of the positioning of it, and I'm trying to work in a completely non-sectarian way here, but I think it's important to recognise that, and I want to thank people. The attraction of the campaign for me, and many others I think, is first of all that initial motivation, the almost desperation that we felt that the imperialists having invaded Iraq, they then started automatically looking to the rollout then to Iran. And I think most of us just wanted to do something and join something and act in terms of to prevent that further stage of the imperialist war within the Middle East. But the reason I mentioned sophistication is because the key thing for most of us as well is that we didn't want in any way to be any form of support for the existing regime in Iran itself, but at the same time, in criticising that regime, we didn't want to give any credence or cover for imperialists to use those arguments as they did in Iraq. Well, I think that's the nature of the campaign that was set up, and that's why I congratulate the thought that was put in to the approach, because it would have been so easy to go out there campaigning against the Iranian regime, which then the imperialists would have used as the real argument then to roll out the war itself. And I think actually at one point in time it was precariously balanced, and in terms of the power resources within the Middle East. And if the Americans in particular could have thought they could have got away with it at one stage, they certainly would have rolled the tanks onwards. I don't underestimate that even today. So I just want to say that that's the importance of it. So what has our approach been? And again, I congratulate people. What has been interesting is this campaign has been able to disseminate information which has been from real grassroots support within Iran itself about individual campaigns. And so that build-up of an understanding of what's been going on within Iran, and then the link to individual solidarity actions that need to take place. The first approach that came to me was around what was happening with regard to the students, then individual trade union campaigns, then also with regard to the LGBT community. So what we've been able to do, I think, is raise consciousness to a certain plateau about what's happening within Iran itself, and then also to guide people into proper solidarity work rather than just knee-jerk condemnations or reaction.